Hey guys, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. We're here to do a reading. We're going to do a reading for my Scorpio rising, Scorpio suns, and Scorpio moons. This basically is going to be all about Scorpio. In other words, Scorpio energy. This is going to be, again, a reading for my Scorpios. We already have cards falling out. What do my Scorpions need to say? Scorpio. So the first card out we have the Queen of Cups in reverse. So Scorpios, are we not feeling abundant right now? Are we feeling a little frustrated? Left out in the cold? Feeling like we're not being heard, not understood? Not being able to look into things that we want to? Okay, so it looks like we could be kind of worried that we were kind of left in the dust regarding something that has to do at work and or with finances. Feeling like we don't have the strength for something. Looking in, wanting... Let me figure this out in a second, guys. This is 3 of Wands for Scorpios. Why are they not being heard? Disappointed, disappointed, disappointed. Okay, I feel like there's a lot going on, like a lot of different energies coming in at us right now. I mean, I'm saying at us because obviously I'm reading, so I can just feel all these energies like saying things, and maybe like there's so much going on that you don't even like know what to do, what can be done. Come on, let's tap in. I need more. Interesting. So this is again for my Scorpio rising suns, all my Scorpio energy. Let's tap into my Scorpio energy. What is going on? What is going on? I feel like you like are just kind of fed up. Wow. Ooh. You could be coming in very direct. Regarding the fact that you want a new beginning. Explain the Lovers. Explain the Lovers. So the Lovers is all about a healthy, happy relationship. I breathe you and you breathe me in. Judgment in reverse. Maybe Scorpio risings, we're not feeling like we are, it's not equal. I feel like you could be telling the truth about walking away from a situation because you feel like you're calling judgment on it, or you feel like judgment's not been called and is not being called, and you know what you can bring to a situation, and you're not going to fight anymore. You're not going to be left out in the cold, burdened. You're not going to be passionate towards something that burdens you any longer. So let's look into this new Ace of Pentacles. Let's tap into the Ace of Pentacles. Oh, Scorpio, we have a lot. I'm glad I did a reading today. Ooh. Yeah, it looks like you pretty much are like, okay, so the Hermit's sideways, so it's like you're like, pretty much I can create no matter what. So either I'm about to cut off this past situation and or presently past, whatever it is, and have my new beginning, or like there is gonna have to be huge change and someone can no longer sleep on these significant, someone can't come in passionately with messages. Someone actually needs to be able to come up with the actual resources to have this new beginning. Because at the end of the day, Scorpio, you're coming in like fighting off passion for anything and everything, work abundance and everything more, I believe. But you're not able to do that in the situation that you're walking away from. And it's kind of like Scorpios are like, so it's my season, it's my time planet-wise to fucking rebirth and create and build something that is huge. And if I can't do that, then I need to do it on my own or for myself, or do you know what I mean? Whatever that is for you, whatever you need to do to make sure that you can do this new ambush of callings. I can definitely resonate with this energy. I'm not allowing this much. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. Strength reverse popped out again with the 3 of Swords. So information obviously is coming in regarding the fact that it is absolutely not balanced. And there's some sort of juggling situation. Juggled opinions, I'm hearing. Juggled people. Explain this 3 of Pentacles for my Scorpio energies that are out there that are resonating with this. Repetitive. Why are you not letting me speak? Recurring. Retention. Yeah, there's an unjust situation. Unjust situation. Maybe a situation that's old, dusty. Dusty things are old. Or it hasn't been taken care of in a while and it gets dusty. But there's an unjust situation with potentially a earth sign regarding finances. This is a earth sign that is leaning on more of a feminine vibe. So let's just say a Queen of Pentacles on a positive feminine vibe would be someone that would be like wanting to, or someone that has it in their charts that are in significant placement, and or they have that placement of the earth multiple times in their chart. That can also be someone that has these characteristics. It can be you. But in regardless, someone is feeling though potentially something regarding finances in the past, present and future, because we're talking about like your present and your future is making deciding what choice you're going to make, or making a choice that you have to do what's best for you when it comes to A, making sure that you're grounded, or B, making sure you're not being around people that are not being non-toxic. And A, you're creating your own justice and walking away because you're not in situations that ground you and allow you to be what you need to be, and or there's someone around you that is creating unjust situations and predicaments that you are being put in. Which potentially, interesting, which potentially could make you feel like you're being left out in the cold. Potentially, maybe people are leaving you out in the cold. Family, friends, work, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. I would say animal, but technically I wanted to say animal, and then I'm like, how the fuck would it be an animal? But I'm just gonna say that. So maybe some of your animals are feeling neglected because how much you work. I don't know. Weird. Interesting. We both want to do that. Weird. My guides are like, communicating. Very interesting today. Sparkling water. So it looks like potentially we are wanting to build our financial structure. I'm hearing specifically financial structure. So there could be, with that being said, the way I'm feeling that energy is you potentially are someone that's wanting to create financial, not just structure, like, okay, people want to create structure, like an earth sign, like, would do, so they'd go, like, have a house, whether they own it or rent it, it didn't matter. They'd just have a house somewhere that made them feel grounded, right? I feel more like it's more like investments. So potentially looking into a new business endeavor, opening up a business, or real estate, and or a new hobby or classes or stuff like that that are going to kind of work on being able to not just bring you money, but also kind of, I'm seeing like people that are like, you're rebirthing and you're transforming right now. So it's like you're basically saying like, so let's just say I'm someone that's worked for someone my whole life. I can freakishly oddly resonate with this energy. But it's like you've built all this time in your life where it hasn't been the place where you've been able to actually make the movement of these creations that you've been planning for, or mentally creating over time, or brainstorming, or however we want to say it. And we're hitting a point now where we're like, we have a ton of options. We're kind of overwhelmed maybe about the amount of options, because we do and are consciously aware from experiences of the past that not all options are good for us, and or what options. It might not even be that. It might be like, okay, so let's just say I want to do, okay, I'll try to give an example of me, I guess, right? So let's just say right now I'm looking at, okay, there's a piece of property in an area I want to purchase. It is not going to have a house on it. So it's not like I'm buying a big bougie fucking house. We're talking about under $50,000 piece of property. For a business of that I want to be able to grow the product on the property myself, as well as then turn around and produce the property, and then I could just buy something to put on the anyways, something I've been brainstorming for years. So with that being said, I just ran into the experience actually during COVID, because of because of my career as a hair artist. When my job opened up again, all I did is worked. Like, we're talking like so fucking much, because I wanted to take the advantage of the opportunity of potentially not only helping clients that couldn't get their hair done because maybe the poor devastating things that their space went down, and or I knew how many people in the world haven't been able to go get their hair done. You have the regulars, which is already a lot of people, and then you're going to have these once a years or 2 a years come. So it was a lot of opportunity to make a ton of money if you're willing to put into self-discipline to actually follow through and do it. And I did. So I was able to save a certain amount of money up, right? So now I'm like, okay, so I want a property, but I also am going to potentially do this new other work endeavor as well as I'm moving into my own space. So it's making sure that we potentially make a choice that allows us opportunity in all those areas without closing a door, and realizing that time and patience, like what you've done to get to this point right now, and having to hold out, not using your throat chakra because of the fact that you weren't able to sit and really talk about it with people, because of the fact it was one of those things that if you talked about it with people, people were really understanding of it because of the fact that you couldn't produce it right then and there to show them. So now it's like, now I actually have what I needed this whole time to be able to show and create, right? And it's just making these choices, and maybe it kind of happened very sudden, that the opportunities and or how everything kind of just worked out, right? It was just like hit the ground running, and then all of a sudden like for me, it's starting to become more consistent and regular within the space of work, you know? So it's not like, holy fuck, but it was awesome because I brought in an insane amount of money, right? So but I also didn't have a social life, which benefited from saving. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like that thing. So now that we've had this opportunity and we have the things that we need, it's kind of prioritizing, okay, so I know I have to move because I have to for myself. Or I know and then I know I have to open this little business. Or I know I have to open this little business and then buy a property. And then maybe do you know what I mean? It's trying to make sure, or if I can do all three, how would I? What is the most efficient way? Thinking of that. But also making sure that we're aware that when we do make blind choices and things do look very alluring to us, Six of Cups, and they are promising, we also know that sometimes judgment comes in and then we get messages that are not the best messages, which can really ultimately make or break us. So I feel like at a point where you are being recognized and you realize you're being recognized because of all the hard work and shit that you've done, and or you're recognizing yourself and you are knowing it and you're not letting anyone stand in that power for you, which is making you stand out, and people are aware of these new opportunities that you could have around you or that you could be making these choices. And I feel like you're kind of at a space mentally. Oh, that is hilarious. I feel like you're kind of at a space mentally. The cards just like, I by accident put them together and they're like separate. They're like, no, we are not the same tarot deck. And it's like, okay, well, you are today. So I feel like with this new opportunity and or this new way of looking at your spiritual way of being and realizing your value and realizing that you don't have to struggle just because people choose not to come in, and or people just choose to come in when they feel like it on spontaneous messages and or convenience. I don't have to do that. I can create and or ride with the planets. Technically, you'd be riding with the planets right now because Uranus just started today. Yesterday or today? No, today. Today, Uranus starts. And you're kind of like, well, I'm motherfucking Scorpio. So at the end of the day, I don't understand why you bitches don't get that I can create out of nothing. That is kind of like the energy I'm getting. I think you're more frustrated, Scorpio, because of the fact that you have had time to have all these ideas, and maybe you have sporadically shared opinions of these ideas with people, and not that you were shut down, they just reminded you. I think that, unless we can get things going, we shouldn't really worry about anything other than the presence. You know what I mean? Like, politely try being like, okay. And then now that you're doing it, I think it is just, it's a lot. Just like for you, it's a lot. It's a lot for everyone. And obviously everyone's going through their own experiences right now when it comes to all the planets and rotations and energy and Uranus, which is a huge karmic one. It's like Uranus is all about how are you going to respond when shit hits the fan. And not only that, shit will hit the fan because shit is going to dramatically change, period. That's what Uranus does. It creates change. Now, are you going to rebirth and make it through Pluto-wise? Or, and Scorpio is saying, well, fuck yeah, that's what I do. But at the end of the day, I had to walk away from confrontation on this unjust situation because at the end of the day, I'm on my spiritual path and I can't sit and wait for people when I'm on my spiritual growth path when I could be like literally helping people make millions instead of just helping them in the peanut gallery. Do you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. And if people are not going to come in passionately and realize what I'm about, then I'm not going to come passionately at all, because at the end of the day, I can create and do create. Hence where Scorpios, well, I'm a moon Scorpio, but do you know what I mean? Scorpios, we're really fucking good at rebirthing. Now the kicker with Scorpios is we also can drown ourselves. So are we going to create positive or are we not? This luckily looks like you are, although you are mentally like just like too many things. I'm hearing like life has just like created the rebirth. Literally, this is you mentally, but this is how the world is seeing you. Because why is that, Scorpio? Because instead of living in this state of mind, you're realizing all this shit about yourself, and you're on your spiritual growth to realizing that these things, these mental self-conflicted wounds that people put on us, or all this chaotic fighting, at the end of the day isn't you. And if you follow your spiritual path and you just keep going with who you are, even if you don't feel like it, you at the end of the day are going to be recognized for that. Even if you're not right now, I think you pretty much know it's fine. I don't need justification from you. I don't need justification from you. I don't need validation from you. I don't need validation from you. I already got what I want. I literally saw that. That's hilarious. Oh, honey. Okay. Yeah. So it does look like we're getting a message from Spirit, and this is going to be closing it out, that is letting us know that we are in a place where... Can I get 2 for that? Yeah, you are not about to be foolish and get on a divine train and sit and wait to be passionate towards what you naturally are passionate on. You are no longer going to do that. So, with that being said, you are no longer going to allow these situations to weigh you down. You're pretty much like, so, you're in or you're out, right? Yep. I'm looking into... Thank you. Being grounded, recognizing who I am, someone that takes care of people, builds people financially, loving, taken care of. I know all the nurturing things I can do. Moon, moon, moon. So this person, their Venus or their moon is very, it's either going to be a Cancer or Libra, okay? Or someone that has characteristics of that, or similar to that. So, in other words, if you were like, I want to know more about that person, that's what you would go off of. And then I just did a video on planets. So, if you need any ideas on why I mentioned those or what those planets are about, they're very brief descriptions, and I really encourage you to study furthermore. And watch it completely, because there's a lot of hidden little things in there that you will miss. Anyways, so I'm no longer going to give passion in situations that do not allow me growth. I'm on my divine train, and I am being my high priestess self. And I'm walking away from things that don't serve me. Someone might try to come into you to let you know relationship-wise, some sort of message. Anything more with that one? Or am I going to close this out, I think? Yeah, I'm using my higher seeing, my higher knowing, my high priestess comes out, right? And I said that. I was just visualizing her. I literally just saw this picture in my head, and that's why I said, like, hi, and then... I'm using my ways of knowing what I don't need to know from anyone else other than myself. I'm not going to be passionate towards people that think I'm dumb. And I'm not going to be foolish for people that act like they're passionate fire signs, when reality, so some of this energy can be more fiery, divine feminine fiery, but in the reverse, meaning I can't deal with someone that's choosing to be foolish, even if I want to. Okay, explain. I feel like I can't make my finances because someone's not happy at home, and it's making them make blind choices that are affecting my life. And at the end of the day, I can't just walk away. This is you, Scorpio. I can't just deal with it because I know. So when I know and I ignore it, then it's coming between me and my manifestation with the universe, because what we know, the universe knows we know, and etc., etc. Manifesting, creating, you guys know what I'm saying. So thanks for being here. I hope that resonated. When it comes to the future positive things, let's get an oracle real quick for things for them, my Scorpionics, to think about as they're manifesting, and or different things that could be coming to terms with, and or any guidance further that you know that they need to hear for their weeks prior regarding these new endeavors and or these new communicative endeavors. Communicate. You may feel like, I don't know, just say yes. What are they just saying yes to? Yeah. Any last requests? Any last requests for the ones that don't want to do that? One more conclusion. Okay, so for the ones that know, that's it. No, I am not. Yeah. For. So fucking crazy. I was just looked at this and I put the deck back together and then I opened it again and she shows up again and I'm like, well, good, because I didn't have to look for her, but that was weird. It's not weird, it's weird when it happens. So for those that are just going to move forward, yes, I'm going to basically take care of myself and protect myself because people wouldn't in the past. You felt like in the past you weren't being a high priestess. You are a high priestess now, so whatever choice that you make, the universe wants you to know you're going to make a good choice, okay? You're being guided. For those that are like, no, I'm open to considering, the divine is asking you to remember that at the end of the day, you also need to trust your gut and believe and know that you are showing up as high priestess, and you are in an area that can make or break. You feel, but it's not that way. So if you're like, I'm not going to do it, you're going to be successful anyways. If you choose to do it and you're wondering how am I going to handle this situation, you need to realize before you even have a talk, if there needs to be a talk, who you are and what you're calling and what you're all about. And either this person and or these people and or this situation either can appreciate that you know what you bring to a table. So you're kind of like seeming like a person that's similar to me actually, where when we go to interviews, it's more, so hi, nice to meet you, and we're interviewing them instead of them interviewing us. So in other words, when I go into an interview, I already know what I can create. I've had multiple of my own little businesses that I've self-made, right? Or I've leased chairs, you know, small little businesses multiple times. So I know what I bring. So I'm not really, I did that to build up a resume, right? So people that have bigger resumes, it's more like, well, what do you have that's going to make me be able to do my job efficient? Because I know what I can bring, kind of attitude. And so if you are kind of like that, you need to kind of make sure that you know where you stand, and you need to stand firm on that. And if you are coming together and you're doing that, you need to be able to use your goal and your gut at this gathering or event or situationship, whatever it is. I just heard situationship. And you know that your guides have your gut and your trust, and they'll be with you, but you're going to have to make this choice, and evidently for yourself. But I think as long as you just know that, you know, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. At least I tried one more time. It is what it is, kind of thing. You know, then you need to be okay with continuing to do what you're going to do and move on. Thank you for being here. Bye, guys.